Okay. Welcome Spanish 2 and 3 students. This is our week 3 session. So what's happening right now is I am recording a live session with students who are in person, and then I'm also doing the Elluminate or Blackboard Collaborate session at the same time. So when you come in person, you will be getting the 10 points for doing so. So you're not going to have to enter the essential question response because you're going to be working on that. However, if you're watching via Blackboard Collaborate or if you're watching the recording, you still need to enter that essential question response to get credit. Just clarifying that, and I'm starting that this week. Okay, so this is our week 3 calendar. We were finishing up our Unit 19 and starting our Unit 20. Today we are going to go over those objectives for the vocabulary and the grammar. Okay, any questions about the calendar right now? Yes.
During the quizzes, like if it has a last semester, but I know it's like a middle semester, but the instructions are in Spanish, even though it's
for Spanish, second semester.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're getting a little bit more of the Spanish instruction. As Spanish 3, everything's going to be in Spanish. So it's just kind of warming you up for that next year of Spanish. And it is a lot more tough, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But that's why it's good to come into the sessions and have your questions for me if you are having any difficulty with that. Okay, so as you're going through the sessions this week, make sure to write down any questions that you have with the lessons, and then next week I can definitely help you out if there are any questions. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next one, big question. Stephanie? Okay, here's our agenda for today. We're going to go over our essential question 3, and then our vocabulary will be on false cognates, and grammar will be on the conditional tense. And last week we did go over the future tense. So we're going to do some practice. When you're in person, you will get that extra help and support, so I highly encourage students to attend in person. Okay, so here is your essential question. How can a false cognate make it difficult for a Spanish language learner to learn new vocabulary? So I'll give you some time to write that down, whether you're here live or you're live at home. And just to repeat this from the orientation session, you are not turning in your notes to me as you do in some of your courses. You're keeping notes for any quizzes or tests that you have. You can use those, but you should give a copy to your homeroom teacher. Okay, so whatever notes you're taking right now, just make a copy, make sure to give it to your homeroom teacher.
Do you have to write it in Spanish or English?
Your answer can be in English, yes. Unless I specify it needs to be Spanish writing, yeah. Mm-hmm. This is more understanding about learning about false cognates. So again, Stephanie had a good question. Does your response need to be in Spanish for this week? No, it can be in English. Okay. So make sure you write that down on your notes. And now we're going to move on. Okay, first of all, what is a cognate? You might hear me repeating. Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, you can always look it up if you don't know. That's fine. What is a cognate? In my sessions, I keep repeating this word. Okay. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to figure it out, or you can look it up as well. So this week we're not studying cognates, we're studying false cognates. So first of all, we need to know what a cognate is. So that could be one of your questions for your Cornell note. Could you find it? No? Okay. So let's look and see what I have here. Okay, so it's two words that look the same and have the same meaning. Okay, two words that look the same and have the same meaning. Couldn't find. Okay, so for example, we have doctor in Spanish, in English, doctor. Okay, same, looks the same and same meaning. Hospital and hospital, those are identical, English and Spanish. Those are cognates. And then we have policía, police, correcto, correct, romántico, romantic. So cognates really help us when we are learning a new language, right? Because they're so close in the way that they are written and in the meaning. But then, that's why we're learning about false cognates, because there's some tricky ones that really don't have, even though they look the same, they don't have the same meaning. So we have to learn the false cognates so we can catch ourselves when we're making those mistakes. So cognates are great, but not all words that look the same have the same meaning. Okay? So make sure to write that down, and then I'm going to go to our vocabulary. Okay? So false cognates. You can write down the definition there in your notes. Okay. So a false cognate is a word in Spanish that looks like a cognate, but really isn't. Okay, so I'm going to go over those commonly confused cognates, and you're also going to be given the correct word. Okay. So that is a false cognate. So you really only need to write the first part. Okay, so a false cognate is a word in Spanish that looks like a cognate but really isn't. And a cognate, we went over that. Okay, words that have similar meaning and they look the same as well. Okay. So here's our list. Okay. We have actualmente, which means nowadays, and not actually. See how we would get confused and we would think it means actually. But it actually means nowadays. And then we have atender, to attend, to serve, okay, not to attend. I'm sorry, it's to attend to, okay. La carpeta, another false cognate, actually means the folder, not carpet. We're going to do some practice as I go over each of these. Contestar is to answer, not to contest. And we have constipado, that means you're congested, not constipated. Okay, it looks like that. Yeah, so you don't want to say the wrong word here. And our last one for this set is campo, which is a field, not camp. Okay, so that's our set one. Then we have another one that you do not want to get wrong. We have embarazada, and that actually means pregnant, not embarrassed. Okay. So yeah, so you might want to get this one wrong. El éxito, success, not the exit.
I could see that.
Yeah, these ones are tricky. That's why we have to learn and memorize these ones. Then we have el fútbol, and that's soccer. So we have to be very specific when we're talking about football. And I'll show you the actual meaning for that one. Largo is long, not large. Sensible is sensitive. Y la sopa is soup, not soap. So you actually have two sets here of false cognates. And then the other two that you're going to see, those are the actual words that you would get confused with the actual meaning. So let's take a look. So en verdad is actually. Asistir is to attend. La alfombra is carpet. Remember, la carpeta is folder, not carpet as you would think. So la alfombra is carpet. Contender is to contest. Okay, if you want to say constipated, the correct word is estreñido. Okay, and then we have campamento is camp. Can you just take your notes and then I'll give you credit for today. Okay, and let's go on to our last set right here before we do some practice. Avergonzado is embarrassed or avergonzada. Okay, and then exit would be la salida. And then we're talking about fútbol y fútbol americano. There's a difference between both. So if you're talking about just regular football, okay, here in America, it's el fútbol americano. And then grande is large, razonable, sensible, y el jabón, soap. Okay, so you should have your list before we come to our sessions so you can, refer to them and do the practice with me. And it just helps so much, I think. Let's do practice. So I'm going to give, let's see. Okay, so we're going to do number 1 here. And so we have one participant live, and then we have a couple here in person. So, número 1, ¿cuál es la sopa? A o B? La sopa.
Oh, no.
Okay, vamos a ver. Okay, so you can write it down. ¿Y cuál es el jabón? Número 2. The only one that's left?
Okay.
A, A. Okay. So sopa is soup, not soap. Okay, so we just want to clarify that as we're moving along. Okay, la próxima. Número 1. ¿Cuál es la alfombra? A o B. Y número 2, ¿cuál es la carpeta? Okay, this is a commonly confused one, a false cognate. So, which one is la alfombra and which one is la carpeta? Number 1. Número 1. ¿Qué? A o B.
Number 1 is off.
¿Qué piensas? A o B.
Yeah,
B.
Um,
A. La alfombra es, muy bien, B. Sí. Okay. Okay. Y esta es la carpeta. Okay. La carpeta is a folder. A lot of people confuse it and say it's carpet, but it's incorrect. Okay, let's do the next one for practice. Okay, tenemos número 1, ¿cuál es el fútbol? Y número 2, ¿cuál es el fútbol americano? So, vamos a empezar con 1. ¿Qué es 1? B. Okay. Y eso está correcto. 1 es B y 2 es el fútbol americano. Okay, muy bien. Y vamos al próximo. Okay, la salida y el éxito. ¿Cuál es el número 1? La salida es ¿qué? ¿B? ¿Piensas que es B también? ¿Salida?
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Yeah.
¿Ok?
Yeah.
B. Ok. Entonces, el éxito número 2 es A. Vamos a ver. Daniel piensa lo mismo. Sí, muy bien. So, esta es la salida y este es el éxito. Éxito es ¿qué? En English.
Okay.
Try again. Let's look at our vocabulary.
So,
Success. Success. Okay. Éxito es success. Muy bien. Okay, let's do this one. Número 1. ¿Cuál es embarazada y cuál es avergonzada?
one is
Número 1. Número 1 es A. Okay, ¿piensas que es A? ¿Tenemos A o B? Número 1. Ah, okay. Muy bien. Okay. Número 1 es embarazada. Okay, not embarrassed. Okay, you don't want to say the wrong one here. Y número 2, avergonzada. You're just embarrassed. You said something that you weren't supposed to say. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, I just said embarazada and actually meant avergonzada. Okay, so good job on the practice. And now we're going to go over that conditional tense, okay? And I gave you, the students who are here in person, I gave you this practice sheet. Yes. So on the first one, I already created the chart for you. All you have to do is write down the endings, these endings, so you have your notes. And you can use these notes too to give to your homeroom teacher. You know, make a copy and give it to them. So I'll give you one, and then from home, you definitely should be writing down this chart so you can refer to the conditional tense. I'm sorry? Yeah. So the first one is yo, ella, tú, ella, él, ella, usted, ella, nosotros, nosotras, íamos, vosotros, vosotras, íais, y ellos, ellas, ustedes, ías. So we're learning about the conditional tense in Unit 20, and that is what would happen. Last week we were learning about the future tense and you know how and the endings for that as well. And what is the future tense? Just referring back to last week. What is that? We were talking about what? Something that will happen. Good. Okay. So that's from last week, and this week we're referring to something that would happen, okay? It's conditional. If this goes through, then I might do this, okay? So it's would. Okay, did we write those down? I know, I'm trying to, hold on. Oh, hold on, I'm trying to get rid of it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so did we write these down, our endings? Okay. So this only works with our regular verbs, and right now that's all we're practicing. We're going to get to the regulars later on. Okay, and so this is an example that we have. We have hablar. Okay, that way you can take a look and see how it functions. So you're going to take the entire, the infinitive form, hablar, okay? So you can just repeat that verb throughout. Hablar, 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 hablar. And then you're going to add the correct ending. Okay, so the first one would be hablaría. Yo hablaría. And that is I would speak. The second one would be tú hablarías. You would speak. The next one is hablaría. He, she, you would speak. Then we have hablaríamos, which goes with the nosotros, nosotras, we would speak. Hablaríais, you guys would speak. Hablarían, they or you all would speak. Okay, so on your chart you can see that I have it. I have the pronoun, but in Spanish. Okay, but you need to memorize it and keep this in your head. So yo is I, tú is you, él, ella, usted, right? Is he, she, you. Then we have our next one. Nosotros, nosotras is we. Vosotros, vosotras is you guys or you all. Ellos, ellas, ustedes is they or you all formal. Okay, so that's going to stay the same as we're learning our endings. Okay, so this is an example, and we're going to, after our session through Illuminate, the students who are here in person can get more practice. Okay. Is that one of yours? Yeah. Okay, so let's practice with VVs. Try to do the first one on your own. And I'm going to go around the room and check. And then those of you who are at home, you should practice doing this on your own as well. You could just write down a chart, and then you want to do the same thing. You're going to use the infinitive form for each, and then all you're going to do is add the ending. And then you should challenge yourself and write down the English equivalent as well for each form. So work on this example, and then we're going to go to the next slide. Give you some time. You're going to, you need to include the entire infinitive form. Yes, so it's viviría. Yeah, so for this, the conditional tense, like the future tense, is the same. You're going to keep the entire verb, vivir. You're not taking out the IR. So they would be the same exact thing as we did with the future tense, but we'll do that later, okay? So try to challenge yourself. So what does this mean? Yo, yo vivir. What is the conditional tense?
So future tense, we talked about future tense, and that one is will, right? And then so if we're dealing with conditional tense now, what's on? I would live. So yo viviría would be I would live, right? Tú vivirías. You, we would live. Él, ella, usted, viviría. So just challenge yourself and write down the English equivalent for each of them. Okay, because you understand the conjugation. Now let's make sure you understand what the English equivalent for the translation. I think we need to check one. I'm going to make it easier for you, right? And then, so you can see that we're already under these. Vivirían, vivirías, vivirían, viviríamos, vivirías, o vivirían. So, yeah, so I just made it easier for you guys to have a chart. And you can always figure, when you put it into your phone, sure, I've got it there. So you can ask it. Oh, I would, and what is viviría? What is viviría? You're using the conditional form, yes. So what is the verb that comes out? Oh, to live. So it's like I would live, you would live, she would live. Good, okay. So they would. So I would live. Yes, we would. Then what part of we definitely would live. They. Oh, this one is you all. And what is this? You all. You all. You all. Or is it you all or you guys? But I think you can use you all. You all would. And then this one is they, and they use form. Sorry, repeating it over and over and all the other ones. You just need to remember. You got it? Mm-hmm. So this one would be we would. Mm-hmm. And then the other one would be, oh, you got it, you all. Okay.
Okay, so let me just quickly go over. So we should have these endings. Viviría, vivirías, viviría, viviríamos, viviríais, and vivirían. Okay? So just make sure you check your work. You're including the entire verb, and then you're adding the endings. Okay, that's how it is for the future tense as well. Okay, we're including the entire verb, vivir. We're not taking off the IR like we would when we studied the present tense or preterite tense. Okay? So again, you would double check your chart here. Okay, so what's next? ¿Qué sigue? So your essential question, response 3, you're going to enter that. It's for every Friday, so you're going to see it on 1:30. Make sure you click on it, you type in your response, and you want to submit that. You click next, and then it will go through. You also want to check your grade book often so that you know if you're missing any assignments. They'll show up in red if you're missing any. Okay, preguntas. Yes.
What if, because you said if you come to the in-person, you'll have to turn the EQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you come to the in-person, if you turn the EQ and you get credit?
I'm not doing extra credits right now, okay? But I'll check with the other teachers and see kind of what they're doing, but I know for sure a lot of them are starting to just give credit for attending, kind of more motivation, okay? All right, good question. Good suggestion. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the session unless there are any students online through Blackboard who have questions. Oh, essential question. Okay, let me post the essential question again. Okay, how can a false cognate make it difficult for Spanish language learner to learn new vocabulary? Okay, and if you came late to the session, you can go back and watch it and review any of that information that you missed. Make sure you enter your response so that you can get credit. And again, if you do come in person, you'll get credit automatically. So I highly encourage you to attend in person if you can. Okay, I'm going to end the recording. Okay. Hold on, I got a question. And Daniel, you mentioned in the beginning of the class you handed out a form. How can I get a copy? Okay, I'll send you a K-mail with the form if you want to do more practice. Okay. Thank you so much for attending. And